Hello and welcome. Um, it's been a while, or it feels like a while. If you're here, you can say hi in the chat. We're gonna do a little bit of drawing, just some casual drawing today. I have. Where's my? Oh, I think I'm in front of behind the reference photo. Let me switch. Hold on. Let's see if that works. There we go. All right, that's better. So you can say hi in the chat if you want. You don't have to participate in the conversation, but you can just say hi and then watch. So let me see who is. Hi, Ariana is here. Happy birthday. Rosie is here. Hi, welcome. That's the fun with, yes, it is fun with the, you can watch me anywhere you like, as long as the connection is good. Marjolein is here. Good morning to you. Good evening here. So, all right, when did we last? I think it was 2 weeks ago, something like that. Anyways, 2 weeks ago on Wednesday, I did my first nude draw. I hosted my first nude drawing session here in my hometown, and it was super fun. Like, it was great. We had a great model. I'm going to show you a couple of sketches that I did just for fun, and also because I need to post them on social media. I'm like totally procrastinating that. So I'm going to show you first. And we had a great model. It was a great guy, and Ariana was there. And oh, why is my brain forgetting names? Ariana, help me out. Who our other friend came? I'm so shitty with names. I swear to God. Yesterday I was looking at my son and I was like, I did not forget your name. No, you forgot to. All right, it'll pop. It'll pop up. I'll remember. When I stop thinking about it, I'll remember. So that was great. And let me just show you a couple of sketches that I did. So we do monthly these nude drawing sessions, and you know, for me that is new, hosting it. And hi Linda. I did join a lot of different sessions in different towns, you know, trying to get some practice in. And one of the things that I miss a little bit, maybe it was just coincidence, but what I missed was a little bit of variety in, you know, genders and shapes and, you know, just different people. So I'm trying to make a bit of an effort to sort of force that variety a little bit. So, whoa. So this guy was really, really great, and I made a lot of mess with compressed charcoal. And I really like the space that we have as well. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to concern yourself a whole lot with making a mess. Here's a foot. You know, whenever the whole body gets a little bit too overwhelming, Alwineke, yes, that was it. That was it. Yeah, that was it. So whenever, like, sometimes a whole body can be a little bit overwhelming, and I just prefer to focus a little bit on a certain part, a hand or a foot or a head. or a bunch of heads, like here are a bunch of heads. And this was my last one. So I was kind of happy with, like, because I have to keep track of time for the different poses, and I was a little bit worried. Sometimes I feel my brain sort of getting absorbed into what I'm doing, and I feel, you know how you can feel that? And I sort of have to pull myself back from that because I need to watch the timer. It's kind of fun to see what you can do when you're not in that zone, sort of. All right. That's a great idea. I just tried to do the whole body. Yeah, you know, after you have a bunch of sessions, you can start thinking about, okay, what do I want? You know, sometimes I skip poses and I just work a little bit more on line work or shadows of a pose that just finished to sort of not feel so rushed, right? And you can try out a lot of different things that you can do. Give me 20 seconds because I forgot to put the reference photo on my phone, so I'm just gonna let's see if that works. So after the drawing session, I think after the drawing session, I went to Ariana to drop off her painting that she purchased for me. That was great. That was fun. I actually learned that I don't actually suffer from social anxiety. I just suffer from not wanting to talk to people who are not into art. There. I re-diagnosed myself being very social as long as I'm with art people. I'm totally fine. After that, I went with my friend. Why is my phone in my image? Let me put that. After that, I went with my friend, Anna, to a museum in Haarlem, Tyler's Museum. And they had an expo called Michelangelo's Men. And it was basically an exhibition of his sketching, of his sketches and drawings, and they also loaned, I think, the Apollo David, the marble statue, from Florence, I think. I think it's from Italy. So that was a big thing, but I like the Apollo David, but I like his sketches better. So let me draw and try to do this draw and talk thing again. The Tyler's Museum actually purchased a bunch of sketches, apparently, a bunch of drawings back when they started, I think in 1780 or something like that, so end 18th century. And holy crap, something happened outside. Um, and I think like 20 or 22 of them were Michelangelo's drawings, and they don't always put them up, out in for people to see, because I'm guessing because the paper will sort of disintegrate. When it's exposed, right, to light. So we got to see those, and those were great. And my friend and I were talking about, like, why red chalk? I never really thought about that because I like red chalk, so I'm like, cool, red chalk. Well, we were talking about why. So if you have any knowledge on that, because I still have no clue. So I'm kind of guessing that maybe it's available, right? Because I'm guessing it's some kind of, it's an earth pigment. So it'll be cheap. And I also had this idea that maybe they wanted to limit their value range, With red, you kind of automatically limit your value range, which might be a good thing when it comes to bodies and faces. But it was very impressive. It was very, the guy drew a lot. And the funny thing is he would do these drawings and then sort of, sketch a thing with an arm and a leg and a head, and then he would totally detail out this area, so a specific area, and then just ignore the rest. It's really remarkable to see. You own a real Savard now, yes. Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome back. So yeah, red chalk. Red chalk and Michelangelo. Yeah, what a guy. Like, this almost medical level of detail for tendons and muscles and bones and structure and everything. And it's really amazing. So also his line, where you can see in the image that I put up, his what's it called? You guys give me the English word. Yeah, where you do that like this, shading. It's very high quality. Like, it's stuff that I think a lot of people don't notice when they look at a drawing, especially one that has detailed areas. Hatching, yes, thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. Especially in a drawing that has a bunch of details, But the hatching is actually the first thing that that I noticed. I was like, that is some good looking hatching right there. Yeah, hatching. Thank you, Rosie. So I tried to do this in my sketchbook, and I kind of was like, oh, okay, I need to turn it. And I'm guessing the guy is right-handed, or the image was flipped. I'm not really sure. But so I'm left-handed, so my natural hatching angle would be this, right? And if I were to do that here, you would get an entirely different feeling than when you do what he did, which is, let me switch hands and see if this actually works. Right? So I feel like this feels like she's looking that way and the hatching is going that way, and it creates this nice sort of triangulation kind of feeling. Whereas if you were to do it in a left-handed way, it's a bit obvious, you know, the direction of the face is that way and then the hatching is that way. I like it this way. And it kind of made me think about how normally I do, but I maybe don't think enough about that kind of thing, you know? Like I do think about it, and also, you know, brush stroke directionality and stuff like that, but he kind of indicated an ear here. I like this is where his attention span is like, nah, thanks, I have enough information. I really kind of like this guy. Let's see. What is it made of, the red chalk? Yeah, I think it's just ochre, like burnt sienna or burnt whatever. Actually doesn't really say, but when I Googled it, it's like earth pigment in different shades, and it actually comes, these square, these are hard crayons, pastels, whatever, and they come in this box, so they have different shades of brown, and then they also have black and white and gray, and they are from Conte à Paris. And they come in this box. It's a very famous box where you get the red shades and then some white, gray, and black, and you can use those for sketching. A tricky angle, yeah. Michelangelo will do only the tricky angles. I'm gonna skip the teeth. He did the teeth very well, actually. Well, they're somewhere here. Voila. I love the idea of working on a specific area and forgetting about the rest. I have so many of those hanging around. Well, there you go. Like, you are now a Michelangelo. Now it is sort of validated for you to do that. So every time somebody in a Facebook group is like, oh, I have so many this and that, and I can't finish it, you're like, that's very Michelangelo view. So another thing that I noticed there, and I'm always happy to go with art friends, because then you can nerd about stuff that other people don't notice, is the staining of the paper. That you can see it in a reference photo, but every piece of paper there was stained and yellowed a little bit, and it had, you know, stuff on it, and I'm pretty sure that's not helping the longevity of said papers. But from a paper loving perspective, we were there like, oh, look at those stains, they are so beautiful, they are so beautiful. So yeah, now I'm absolutely going back to the million YouTube videos that I have saved that are about staining paper. You can find so much on that. It's like a craft on its own, right? I need a bunch of that stained paper. So what I like about this red is, like I said, it kind of limits your value range, but for some reason my brain automatically adapts, because I feel like when you work with charcoal in a pencil, it's the same stuff. Or at least what I do is I do value based on pressure, right? So I kind of know how hard I need to press to get specific values. And so I do the same when I get like a red. Or a brown, or whatever. Fun. To do a Michelangelo, yeah, that is now our thing. We're gonna spread it around the internet. I did a sketchy lesson in Procreate that had a stained background. It was in the style of Michelangelo. Cool, that is cool. I used to have, I used to do some graphic design, like mock-ups and stuff, or just promotional material. So I had this huge library of paper backgrounds, because it was super hip like 20 years ago to print paper texture on paper. Get this. So we had this huge library of stained paper photo references, stuff like that. Let me grab a new reference. Where's my chat? Here's my chat. So I also did like these sort of sheets, you know, where he would just like work different stuff on. Hello? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like 100 years old when my phone is not doing what I want it to do. Anyways, I was saying he did like a bunch of stuff on one sheet of paper. It's just kind of cool to see, because you have this idea about this guy that he's like huge, which he is. And then to sort of see these I always think that sketches are very intimate. For some reason, more intimate than like actual finished paintings, if you know what I mean, right? I don't know why. I do feel like if this guy would see me sketch, he would probably slap me with a wooden stick or something. Draw slow. So in my drawing session, like the drawing session that I host, we have this running gag where I do different poses, or I don't do the poses, but I kind of together with the model decide how long the poses are going to be and what they prefer, etc. And then I usually ask, you know, what people want, if they want any more shorter poses, or, you know, whatever. Nobody ever wants the shorter poses. You go like, guys, do you want more 1-minute poses? They're like, no, please don't. I'm like, okay. Hey, Beth. You're here. Good to see you. How are you? Like, I find it really hard to focus on stuff for a prolonged time. So I'm like 2 minutes. I of course I could do 4 or 5 minutes, like that's not really the issue, but 2 minutes is kind of, yeah, perfect for me. Long poses like 10 minutes, oh, they took years off my life. I was just kidding. I'm kind of trying to build a little bit of stamina, if you will. That's a bit too long. Practice that a little bit. You are good. You got to be. It's good to have you back. He has this nice fold here where kind of his torso hangs over his hip area. I like folds. I like folds in the human body. Do we have some... Can we cheat a little bit? Oh, that's very dark. So he just left the whole head out here. He was like, nah, I'm not gonna do the head. He did it in the crayon, probably. Like if you would put, oh, maybe. Yeah, it does kind of look, oh yeah, now I see it. It's so random. Like, now I'm just gonna put this head. Okay, so I think he has like a chin here, sort of. It seems like he put in an angle, but then changed the angle a little bit in his other. In his other sketch that's sitting here. He does appear to be looking sort of that way. It's really interesting, you know, to, let's not touch my face with that. To sort of, you know, when you're drawing this and talking to you guys, you kind of get this insight, maybe, sort of, kind of, in what he was thinking. And like, because I think we talked about it before, about how some people get a little bit nitpicky in their, you know, sketchbook, and you kind of feel like you need to finish something. And you look at the way that this guy works, he works for the purpose of understanding what it is that he's going to paint or he's going to sculpt. That's the only reason. I feel like that sort of shows from the way that he works. He's not concerned with parts that are not finished or not making sense. He's like, he wants to draw the head in a certain angle and does so on a different part of the paper, not caring. And it feels very purposeful. Like, and I sometimes feel that I need to remind myself of why it is that I'm doing stuff, and then stick to that purpose and not get distracted by, oh no, if it's not finished, then I can't post it on Instagram and blah, blah, blah. Maybe you started with the head and decide, oh, you know, you probably couldn't wait to start on the body. It was like, nah, screw the head. I tried water soluble oil again, was down for a whole week. I got so, oh no, I'm not sure if I got a lupus flare, but twice now. Ooh. Oh, that's crappy. So did you ever check? This is gonna sound weird, but I actually at some point read that people can be allergic to linseed oil or the linseed. Could is that something that you ever had checked? Or do you have it like with regular oils and stuff as well? Sounds really bad. I feel bad for you, Linda. I really do. Because I know you were looking forward to trying it. Use the fast drying medium. Yeah, so fast drying medium is usually an alkyd medium, and there is always a little bit of solvent in fast drying mediums because the alkyd resin needs solvent in order to not harden, I think, or something like that in the bottle. So most fast drying mediums that are not cobalt based are usually have some little bit of solvent in them. So if you want to exclude that, if you want to check that on the bottle, you know, it might be that medium, because fast drying mediums, anything other than Galkyd from Gamblin, anything from Winsor and Newton, yeah, does not work for me. I don't get as sick as you do, but it's very, like, it's not nice to work with. So I'm kind of hoping it's that and not the actual water soluble oil. All right, maybe we can do another quick one. Yeah, the solvent-free gel is solvent-free. Like, that's solvent-free. Yeah, if it says solvent-free, it's solvent-free. So it'll also be free of blah blah blah, Gamblin, Gamsol. It'll also be free of Gamsol because Gamsol technically is a solvent, even though it's low odor. Yeah, so yeah, that's the thing with like fast drying mediums. I had Liquin from Winsor and Newton for a while. That is horrific stuff. I don't know how people can work with that. But Galkyd I can do for a little while. I got red chalk all over my laptop. All right, let's try this hand. His hands are impressive. I will. He had this one drawing where he drew like the anatomy of the whole arm. Like there was a discussion in a film that they had in the museum about whether or not he had access to actual corpses that he could, you know, anatomy things with. You painted the banana live stream was great. I love Missy. Like, how can you be so good at drawing a piece of fruit? If it's one of the pigments, you know what? I'm not like medical enough to say anything use. I would start with the fast drying medium. Like that's your best bet. Yeah, the banana was great. Also like I love how art works, and you know, some people are like, ugh, art, it's so useless. But then again, every time you see a banana now, you think, where's my black tape, right? That's art. Yeah, try one, or try, you know, one more time the paint without any mediums, right? Because that way you can sort of lead it back to at least it's a medium. Because very few people are actually allergic to the stuff that's in paint, but then again, lupus is a different beast, so yeah, I did learn through my reading stuff that people can be allergic to linseed. Yeah, just some water and just, regular pain. Kind of made that not wide enough. It's kind of a wide hand. Yeah, you need to plan that stuff. Like, I'm not telling you to do it right now. Like, whenever you feel, I remember that, with testing if my migraines were triggered by anything other than light. I was like, nah, I'll start tomorrow. Thank you. Kind of fun to see how he actually drew over his own drawing here. Because in the previous, like in the sketches of the face, you don't see a lot of like guidelines or, any directional lines. He goes straight in. It's very impressive. It's very difficult for me. Doesn't really seem to do any blocking, but here in the hand sheet that I put up, you can see a couple of, he changed the direction here of the arm, because before the arm went like this, and then he changed it to a more downward angle. You Googled the red chalk. It's just one product. They found it. Oh, yeah, it's just hard. Yeah, iron oxide. Cool. In clay. Yeah, it's super cheap also. And they also have, so they have the square ones. And Conté à Paris also has one in a pencil form, which is also nice. So... migraines. Migraines need to go away. All right. My arm is getting tired from all this upwards, working vertically. All right, zero detail, lots of fun. So, one more thing, by the way, they had a book there. So we always go to a museum shop, and there was a book there with the complete works of Michelangelo. And I was looking at the cover, and I said to my friend Anna, I said, I think I have this book, and I got it from the thrift shop maybe like 8 years ago for like 2 or 3 euros. And I came home, I took a picture in the museum shop, and I came home and I literally have that book. So that was cool. Yeah, that was fun. You know what? I think during the next new drawing session is in December that I'm gonna try and do some sketches maybe in colored pastel or something. We need a little bit of color in these dark days. It's like dark at 5 p.m. here. It's okay. I need to get used to this. Cool. I will see you all next week. Check my calendar before I say stuff that is a lie. Yeah, next week. So next week, and I'm gonna start the Zoom sketch club meeting thingy in the new year, because I'm still one of those firm believers that my whole life's gonna change in the new year. So we're gonna do that in the new year, and I might do a couple of extra live streams in December just to get some like light therapy here for my light bulby thingy. All right, if you have any ideas for live streams, yeah, let me know, because sometimes I run out of ideas. I will see you all on social media. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next week in a live stream. Bye bye. Have a great day. Mwah.